Hey guys, welcome to a new Let's Play series. This time we're going to be playing Mini Metro, which is a game I've actually had my eyes on since last year when it was in early access. Now, Mini Metro is sort of an indie simulation strategy game developed by Dinosaur Polo Club, which is kind of a cool name. So, I think the best way to actually demonstrate what this game is all about is that to actually play it. So, the main idea is that you are essentially constructing a train station or like a network of trains. So what you could do is simply click and drag to simply create your train tracks, and basically it's basically a train management, not train management, but gosh, this is a bit hard to say. So but what I can do here is I can hit space to pause, and what I can do is that I can redesign the train lines and redrag them around just to sort of suit what I need. And the main idea is that to sort of just build a system that allows you to carry all these passengers. So you can see right now the carriage is carrying a triangle passenger to the triangle station, and then it's taking the circle passenger back to a circle station. So it's fairly straightforward, fairly simple to understand, and it's got a very nice clean interface, which is, look, I'm not gonna lie, it's quite aesthetically pleasing. For some of you may be a bit confused, I'm actually playing it on night mode because I quite prefer the darker interface. So it's hopefully that shouldn't bother some of you, but some of you may prefer playing with a white background, and that's not a problem at all, really. So it's naturally sort of a little slow to start with. So okay, so what we've got here, we've got a new station popping up, and I think the best way to sort of is to do this. And it's what I find appealing about this is that it's sort of like a strategy management sort of thing, and you don't actually have to micromanage the customers. You just put down the train lines, you put down the carriages, and you just kind of figure out, where might be best. So I'm just gonna pause this for a second and actually take some time to think, because I need to. I'm asking myself, do I want to put down a new line for this triangle, or do I want to connect it to an existing line? So I think, yeah. So this is where you can start getting a bit tricky because. Okay, so let's connect this here, and then we'll connect it back to the circle and back to the triangle. That way we use less bridges. Unfortunately, both lines are fairly long, which is really not to my liking, but yeah. Nevertheless, as I understand it, it's sort of like randomly generated, but it's with the different areas. We're starting with London, for example. It's what I mean is that the stations are probably randomly generated. So here I'm just going to extend this one and sort of keep the lines minimal, but since this orange line is getting fairly long, I feel like I'm going to need to add a second carriage. Or yeah, so it's like after each week you get a new locomotive or you get a new train. And now which asset would you like for your metro? Now tunnels are fairly handy because well, I still have one more line. I'm gonna go for tunnels so I can have a bit more flexibility. The tunnels are this part where you have to cross the river. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna add a new carriage to this orange line. I'm gonna add another new carriage to this yellow line, and that basically that should simplify the transport a bit. Okay, so I'm looking at this yellow line. There doesn't not seem to be ample opportunities for it to connect to a triangle, so just to balance out the different types of stations, and I think that's probably the most reasonable choice, while sort of keeping the number of lines below. So if you haven't figured out from the fairly minimalist, okay, I've got a circle there. I'm just gonna pause for a second and think about this for a bit. I've got a circle up there, which is kind of annoying because there are 3 circle stations here. However, what I can do is, the other problem is that I don't have an extra train, but I can definitely drag a carriage from one to the other. But I think the best plan for me at the moment is just to extend the orange line while I've got 2 carriages on it. So Now, this is something I've got a bit of a gripe with, in the sense that when you have to reorder the lines, it took me a while to sort of understand how to do it at first, so it was a little frustrating in that aspect, but okay, we'll go with that. I haven't actually had a chance to sort of like really looking, but it's sort of like with the customers, it's sort of like a smart transferring of customers. So it's like it's always going to drop the customers off at the next closest possible station, and then kind of just automates the customer transferring process for you, because maybe it assumes the customers will always take the most the shortest route, which is kind of in the shortest route problem is kind of fairly okay. So there's another circle station which is really starting to annoy me now, but I think I really want to connect it to a square, so I think the best option would be I'm definitely going to introduce the blue line. So here I don't need to actually click on the blue. I can actually just link it up here, and maybe I'll link it up to the triangle. But the only caveat is that I have to move a new train carriage to it. So now the orange one is very long, but I think I can definitely move. So I'm just going to click and drag the carriage to this one, and then you can see it will just automatically shift itself around. So yeah, it's a bit tricky at the moment. Obviously, well, the failure state is, or when you lose, is when one station gets too crowded, and we haven't quite hit that point yet, and it looks like we're gonna be getting along pretty well. So at the moment, I'm not too worried. So far, it seems to be a fairly neat system that manages itself. I'm actually wondering how I've got one more tunnel, so that means I might get the blue line to cross the bridge at some point. So okay, looks like the orange line might be having some problems because we've got a bit of triangles here, and oh, this is gonna be bothersome. So I'm gonna try the yellow line here, because to sort of balance out the circles along the line. Now, okay, so this is getting a bit crowded, so I'm gonna shift this one here. That's probably not the best idea. So I've got a new locomotive. I'm gonna take another line. I'm gonna put the locomotive back on the yellow. I'm gonna put the new locomotive back on the yellow. My apologies. Alright, so I've got a triangle. The orange has got a good triangle line, and the yellow's got a good triangle line. So I think the best option, probably not the best, but certainly not the worst either. The only slight problem is sort of dealing with the ends of the lines at the moment, and I think maybe I should extend the blue so that the train can do a bit more work, so that it's not too stressed out. Oh boy. Alright. What do I want to do here? I'm just gonna pause this for a second once again, and what's really annoying me now is that there's a whole bunch of circle stations, so it's not it's kind of annoying, I gotta admit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna link this. Okay, it can't cross lines except through a station, so if it's gonna be a circle, then maybe I will link it to another circle, then I'll link it back to the square, so it's sort of like a central hub. But I've got to put a train on it soon, otherwise there will be problems. So I really could use a new locomotive, but I don't actually have an extra one at the moment. So I've got two on the yellow line at the moment, so I'm going to move this yellow back to the blue. Sorry, to the light blue, and hope that things work out in that aspect. But definitely there's going to be some problems on the yellow line popping up. Oh dear. Okay, so I'm going to connect this to the blue line. That gives the darker blue line a bit more work to do. But it's definitely a cross, which means that I'm going to need to start relinking some of the other stations just in case, because now alright, so far it looks good. I've got 3 like central hub points, which I think is good, and so we'll just have to see and find out where the new station will pop up and see where some of the congestion is happening, and see if we can fix some of that. Alright, so this is a bit annoying, but we passed 200, which is basically our goal to unlock sort of like the next bunch of train tracks, sorry. And now this central part is getting a bit congested, so I'm trying. There should be like a little bleeping alert sort of thing. Yeah, here. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that. Okay, so hopefully this remedies itself soon with this blue train. Okay, there we go. So that's pretty much what happens, and now I can see the ends of the stations are getting a bit crowded, which is not so pleasant. And I'm hoping that after Sunday passes, in the next week we'll get another train to help deal with the congestion issues. Alright, so I'm trying to think here. Maybe I will. This could connect to the square, and this could connect to the circle. What? Really? Could use a new train? Okay, new locomotive. Improve the station's capacity and transfer speed. I think I'll take a carriage. Improve the station's capacity and transfer speed. So it's like basically saying this station can store more, it will transfer the customers faster. Obviously that will work well for some stations but not others, but it's not quite sure how to best use an interchange, so I'm going to go with a carriage for the time being. I'm still going to pause this so that I can identify which of these might have the most trouble. So I think I'll attach a carriage to this one. That way you can at least carry more customers. And as we can see here, yeah. Alright. Fingers crossed. Alright, I've got one more train to take. One more train to use, so I think the yellow line could use a bit of help. Yeah, and then I'll connect this one. Actually, I've got might actually, you know what would be really nice if I actually did a no pause run. That would actually be quite interesting. I think one of the other caveats is that It's like we've got a bunch of triangle stations, so like each of these customers, like for example, it doesn't matter what station they get dropped off as long as a station that matches the station that they want to go to, which is, I mean, obviously it's not the ideal kind of model, but okay, so we've got another station here, which I think I'm just gonna be lazy. I'm just gonna loop the blue one. Okay, that's not going down well. There we go. Alright. And then, so, looks like we're gonna be able to okay, this looks to be doing fine, so far so good. I'm actually wondering if there's like a fast forward. Okay, so, this is, I do not have a new bridge. So, that's a shame, because if I had a new bridge, I would definitely extend this orange line to include this square, because this orange line does not have actually any squares on it. So that's actually kind of a bit tricky. So maybe what I'll do, I'll reorder this one. No, that's not what I want to do. I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna link this to the triangle. And then what I'm gonna do with this yellow one is link it back to the circle, and then we'll link it at the end here. Alright, I think that's fairly reasonable. The only problem is that the cross is still sort of in its own isolated spot, which can make it a bit difficult for other trains to move around. So I'm hoping to, maybe I can extend this blue one to, no, okay, I don't have it. Oh, that was not intended. Let's try that again. I gotta say the music is actually, it is quite relaxing. So, and wow, this is getting problematic now. Again, we've got a whole bunch of circle stations up here in the top right, which is, I'm not gonna lie, it's quite infuriating. I don't actually know how to deal with this one. Maybe, yeah, I'll just extend the blue line again. I suppose the main advantage of that is that once it passes through all the circle stations, it doesn't have to, how do I say it? It's like once it deposits a bunch of circle customers here, you can just sort of just go through and collect all the other passengers. in that sense, so it's probably not as bad as I imagined it to be. But I think what might help is that, I think I'm also gonna unlink this, put this back here, and then link this to the square. And then that way you can sort of deal with some circle customers that are going through this central hub. And that will sort of reduce a bit of congestion in that area. So, I'm just trying to think whether, okay, the week's almost over, so I should be getting a new carriage soon, hopefully, but so far it seems to be pretty well, so hopefully I'll get a new line and a new carriage to sort of do in this top left corner. So, what would I like? Carriages or tunnels? I really would like a new line though. Oh boy. I'll go for tunnels, because then we can extend this blue line to this one. And then we can extend this to the square here. And that will definitely make life a bit easier. Well, hello there. New station. I'm gonna link you to a couple of different stations so that you are not entirely screwed over. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a bit worried now. Hopefully next week we'll get a new line and then we can sort of create a shortcut in this top left area. So, that's right, I've got a new locomotive, so I'm going to put that on this blue one, because it's definitely looking a bit problematic. Alright, so we've got a new triangle, which, okay, so, do I put it on the blue line, or do I put it on the orange? Okay, I'm actually gonna do a bit of reordering, so... Oh, that was, yeah, actually, I did not anticipate that. Okay. It's not ideal, it's... I'll just move this. No, sorry, that's not how I wanted to do it. Link this here, and link this to the circle, link this. Yeah, alright. That should at least hopefully deal with some of the congestion. So, okay, this blue line looks like it's having trouble. So I'm thinking of detaching this, and then, nope, that's not how I want to do it. Attach this here, attach this here. Okay, this is definitely going to be a problem, and I'll just link this here, and this is, how am I going to deal with this? No, I have absolutely no idea. I'm quite sure this is where I'm going to be losing the game now. So I think that's something that's set to be important for... Oh boy, I'm in trouble. Okay. It's like holy moly congestion Batman. Okay, so that looks to be satisfying, but now I'm getting a few more problems now. So okay, so okay. So and then I'll just switch this back to, yep, I'll connect this over here. Okay. I feel like at this stage it's gonna be like a even more impossible state, so I'm not actually quite sure how I'm gonna deal with this. So put this here, put this here. And I don't have any additional resources that might actually help me out a little, so that will definitely be a... Well, looks like my time is not just yet. Okay, hold on. Yep. Oh, Sunday's almost over. Please, some additional resources would be nice. New locomotive. Line or carriage? I don't have enough locomotives to deal with the line, so I'm gonna go with carriages. I'm gonna pause this for a second. I'm gonna put this carriage here, because the blue line's having the light blue line's having some problems. I'm gonna, okay, I'll link this back to here, and link this back. And I wonder. Actually, that might be. Yeah. Why didn't I think of that before? Okay. That will actually. Okay. Now the other thing I need to figure out is where I'm gonna put the next carriage. Sorry, locomotive. Might actually. See, I've got this one here, but I think I'm gonna put another. How many do I have on the yellow line at the moment? Only one, so I think it makes sense to put one on the yellow line. Let's put it somewhere with a fair amount of congestion. Okay, this is still a problem. Embarrassingly enough, I've got no more tunnels, so I can't connect another line across the river to it, so... Really? Another circle? Okay, I need to do something a bit different, so I'm gonna connect this here, and then... Hopefully... Oh boy. Take it easy, just... Okay, I think one of my problems is that I need to link this to a triangle station. But, no, okay. Oh my goodness. Alright. Come on. Bear with me, guys. You'll get to your destination soon enough. Okay. No. No. Trying to think what I can do differently here, but I'm quite stuck for ideas now. So maybe I could extend the yellow line. Really? Another circle? Okay, I'm gonna extend this orange line to here as well. But I think I'm kind of beyond salvation at this point. Yep. Alright. So that's one. Yeah, game over. Overcrowding. This station's forced your metro to close. 7:35 travel on your metro over 39 days. So, actually I wonder what's the daily trips. Angry passengers. This is actually quite neat, I'm not gonna lie. Waiting time, transfers. You know, this would be a really good simulation for like actual transport logistics things, and there's definitely some potential in that regard, but nevertheless it's still sort of a very fun management game that I think is definitely worth playing. You know, if you just want to chill for like 30 minutes and just manage trains, manage stations through some very relaxing music with a very simplified interface, I can definitely recommend this game for you to play. So, yeah, this was actually my first sort of completely blind playthrough. Well, not completely blind, but I definitely enjoyed this. So it looks like we've got Paris, New York City, and I've just unlocked Berlin, which should be quite interesting. I'll be interested to sort of just see if there's much difference in the stations that spawn and some of the other modes as well. So yeah, with that, certainly I sort of quite enjoyed the strategic aspect of this game, and I can definitely recommend it to others who enjoy similar resource management games in that aspect. So with that, thank you for watching. I haven't quite picked a quote for you. Just consider yourself formally accosted to subscribe, but either way, if you watch this, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.